here's 3 wide receivers. I'm going to have sleepers here heading into Week 13. The first guy, Sammy Watkins of the Kansas City Chiefs. It was good to see Sammy Watkins come back last week in that ball game, and he had a decent game, but that was the Tyreek Hill show versus Tampa Bay. But this week he's got a good matchup versus Denver. You know, Denver's probably going to roll all their coverage to Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. So Watkins, he's going to get one-on-one coverage, obviously. He's a guy that's still a deep ball threat, and he's a good route runner for this Kansas City team underneath and down the middle of the field as well. So Watkins, it wouldn't surprise me to see him have a pretty good ball game here with 60 or 70 yards and a touchdown. And he's a guy still available in about 50% of fantasy leagues. So Sammy Watkins, I have him as a sleeper this week, and I think he has a good game. Number 2, Kiki Cootie of the Houston Texans, now with Will Fuller going down, out for the season after the PED suspension, and Randall Cobb still out a few weeks. Kiki Cootie, he's the number 2 wide receiver there in Houston. And Houston now, you know they're going to throw the ball. They got the Colts coming up. It's a matchup where they're going to have to play back and forth, up and down battle where both teams are going to throw. David Johnson, he might come back in this game, but I think Cootie, he's going to have some ways to get open and make. I don't think the Colts coverage will be really focused on Cootie in this game. And Cootie, last year we saw him have some breakout games, and this week I think he has a decent game. Obviously, if you're in a deep league or you got a bunch of injuries, that's the only way I'm going to start Cootie here, but he's a guy that should be owned in most leagues now after Will Fuller, like I said, got suspended. So Cootie, I have him as a sleeper. And the third and final receiver, we're staying in the same games, T.Y. Hilton of the Indianapolis Colts. It was good to see Hilton finally have a big ball game for once this season in fantasy football and for the Colts. Maybe him and Phillip Rivers finally getting on the same page. Hilton, he's been struggling all year with only 2 double-digit fantasy point games in PPR leagues. So this week, he versus a team in the Houston Texans that he has a great track record against, this T.Y. Hilton. I remember him a few times going for 150 to 200 yards versus them. I don't think he's going to do that in this game, but I think he could have a solid game anywhere from 70 to 80 yards and possibly find the end zone, because this game I think will be a mini shootout, and both teams, they're going to go up and down the field in this one. So that's 3 wide receivers I have as sleepers this week heading into Week 13.